Hello, I'm Ella. Welcome to my art studio. If you've been to any weddings recently or parties, you'll know that this chalkboard designs are really quite fashionable at the moment, and it's actually, there's no surprise why. It's got that kind of vintagey look, you know, it celebrates a bit of typography, but it also allows people to be as individual as they want. So, you know, you can make really nice little signs to put about the place, you can individualise your table centres, all of that kind of thing. And if you're anything like me, I even use these things in the garden to, you know, sort of pot up my herbs and everything. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to achieve a really great look, but with very simple typographic and illustrative techniques using these rather fantastic Uni Chalk markers. Okay, so let's get on with the project. So today I want to show you how to use these fantastic chalk markers. As always with these kind of pens, you need to charge them up, as it were. Just press very lightly. It takes a little bit of patience, but it will be worth it. Your efforts will be rewarded. Right, and you can see the ink is already flowing. Great thing about this as well, you can wipe it off. Now, I'm working with chalkboard paper, but you can work with board or painted walls with chalk paint. It all works just as well. And what I love about these thicker chalk markers is that, well, I love their nice wide nib because they kind of act like a calligraphy pen, and I'll show you how. Now, even with sort of basic writing, you know, you can do something as lovely as that, you know, just with this kind of that kind of nib. It just really allows you to create some variation. I'll just do that again so you can see. So, see, it just creates that lovely flow because of that nib. Right, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to talk you through the thicker nib to do something sort of more sort of hand scripty. Then I'm going to show you how, I'll also show you how to do this banner. It's really simple, but it's a lovely, you know, sort of nice device when you're doing things with signs and illustration. And then just a general little flourishes and some more typography. So dead simple, really easy to go through. So to make the banner, you start off with just two little squiggles, and from those squiggles wonderful things happen. So I'll just show you how to do that. So you've done these two lovely lines, and again, you know, don't worry about being completely precise. You know, the great thing about these projects is that you can do things that look handmade, and that handmade touch is the thing that makes it really special. So anyway, you just join those two lines up. Like that. And then you create another little squiggle to join it up, and then another line. So you see what we're doing there? We're creating a bit of depth, and you can just shade in there. So you're creating more depth in your design. And then we've got another little confident, bold line there. And again, if you want to create some depth, you can do that. So it's just a succession of really simple lines. It's not massive, intricate drawing skills that are needed here. It's just having a bit of fun, essentially, and just doing things that pros have been doing for years, just not telling you about. Okay, so we've got our banner. Dead simple, took seconds. You can do it too, I promise. We can now do some lovely typographic work. So I'm going to use the thicker white chalk marker. I've already charged this one up with ink, and I'm just going to be very, very free with my writing here. So and as I say, the great thing about these nibs is that it does it all for you. It creates this sense of depth in the actual writing, just because of the way that this nib's designed. So this is I'll do a slightly smaller bullet nib with the smaller text. So you don't have to be a mega designer to produce something incredibly effective. So you can see there, we've got a bit of rhythm going, we've got some pace, you know, we've got varying hierarchies of text. So it's all good design stuff without being a mega designer. So now we have our central, we've got our if you can, you can. So what have I got in here? So I've got dream it. And again, I'm going to use a bullet nib to do something a little bit more refined. So I'll do an outline first of my text. Again, I'm keeping the typography quite simple, but at the same time, you know, it's got a little bit of a quirk to it. The whole look, again, is this handmade, you know, a little bit vintage, a little bit, you know, you've whipped it up yourself. You know, this isn't hugely technical. So again, I'm going to keep the colouring in fairly loose. Okay, so if you can dream it, you can. What can we do? Well, we can achieve it. So I'm going to do a nice little pink bit of text underneath to complement the middle bit. And again, my typography is slightly different, but it's quite a basic design using thinner and thicker lines. And again, I'm using the bullet nib. And then we finish that off with a motif that's very, very prevalent in a lot of this chalkboard design. It's simply a sort of, I don't know what to call it really. It's kind of just a little flourish really, and it's just a simple little underline just there. I've got mine in a little frame. But if you want something a little bit simpler, you can start slowly and then work your way up.